Howdy there. So the other day, I saw 13 Assassins, and I absolutely loved it. I'm giving it a 10. I think it's the best movie I've seen this year, I've got to say. I think that 10 is I'm mostly emotional. I know that the film was a 9, but it's got enough philosophy and wisdom that I appreciate, and honestly the film speaks to me, so that is why I'm deciding on a 10. It's a film from Takeshi Miike. I was kind of excited because this was the first Takeshi Miike film I have seen on the big screen. He's known, I would say, mostly for the Audition, which, as far as I'm concerned, changed the face of horror. I had never seen a horror movie like it, and I think many horror movies, as soon as it passed, very much tried to be Audition. So Takeshi Miike could have quit, could have been satisfied with his career with that. But no, he continues to make movies. He's also made one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen, Gozu. I still have no idea what Gozu is about. And he also, perhaps most famously, did Ichi the Killer. So he did several other films. I would call those his big 3. But 13 Assassins is hands down his best work. I mean, Audition is a great film, very influential. I think 13 Assassins has a beat. I think it's wonderful. Again, a solid 10. Best movie I think I've seen this year, I'm pretty sure. And the best Takeshi Miike film that I've seen. I haven't seen all of his work, but I don't see how it could be better than this. Here's some art for it. Here's the first poster that I saw for it, which is awesome. I love that. And here's the second poster I saw for it. So, also the coolest posters of the year. So that's awesome to me. Just really a great film. Made me extremely happy to be in the movie theater. It's about, it seems like a lot, but it's not about much. It really just captures a singular time. But the fate and history of the culture and country comes down to this moment. So there's a gravitas to it. In the early 1800s, in feudal Japan, again, this is a true story, apparently. I'm sure it's true-ish once made into a movie. Early 1800s Japan, the feudal system is still in place, but it is fading. The shogun run the country, the shogun system. Again, I don't know much about it in terms of history. It kind of felt like, in a way, a historical document. It reminded me a lot of Red Cliff. 2 years ago, John Woo made probably his best films in Red Cliff, the big 4.5, 5 hour epic of Chinese history. This seems like a more focused, bloodier, more fun version of Red Cliff, but of course it's for Japanese history. So there is some overwhelming knowledge that is like forced upon you. Like the first 15 to 20 minutes of this film I was almost overwhelmed with all of the people I was meeting, having to know who they were, know their position, know their names, know what they did. And of course, you know, all the names are very difficult. Sometimes it's hard to keep people straight, like, oh, that's that guy, because I get them mixed up. So again, if you can make it through, I mean, the film demands your attention. It demands you pay attention. And if you do, you will be richly rewarded. Okay, so, early 1800s Japan. There is for lack of a better term, a prince. You know, he's a prince. And he will soon ascend to the council of the Kingdom of Japan. Again, please don't crucify me for my lack of knowledge in Japanese history. And if I'm getting it very wrong, don't be mean to me. So this prince is going to rise to power soon. And he's absolutely evil. He's ruthless. He is without mercy. He is without conscience. He is evil. And he must be stopped. He cannot be allowed to rise to power. If he rose to power, you know, he even says the time of war would ascend, would come back. So he must be stopped at all costs. So they hire one of the most respected Ronin, but he's definitely samurai. I know there's like technical, you know, terms there. I'm not sure if he's Ronin, but they also use shogun, and I don't know what shogun necessarily means. I thought that samurai were a part of shogun, and that masterless samurai were Ronin. So I don't necessarily know if he was Ronin, because I thought he had a master. Anyhow, they hire the most respected samurai, and he assembles a crack team of 11 other samurai. And the 13th comes in through their journey, perhaps. So, those 12 men, soon to be 13 men, set off to kill this one man. This man who should not rise to power, the prince. So they set up a trap in a town and wait for the prince to pass through the town. And that's pretty much it. So again, it's pretty simple in terms of what is actually happening in the film, but the repercussions of everything that happened through the events of the film make it seem very important. And again, a lot of people are interested in the outcome of this. So there is this sense, this heaviness that weighs. I thought all of the acting was amazing. I mean, really amazing. The guys have to be so intense at all times. It's really quite spectacular because, I mean, it's a transportive experience. It's a transportive experience. Never once did I doubt what I was seeing. And, I mean, I was taken to another time and place by this film. And never once did I doubt it for a second. So it all seemed very authentic. The costumes, the set pieces, everything, everything. I was transported. So just expert technique and care was given to taking you away, and they succeeded immensely. All of the acting, again, I totally buy it, totally bought it. I only recognized one actor, and he wasn't in it too much, but he was in it briefly, and I recognized him now. I don't know his name, but I did recognize, I believe, from the most current Zatoichi film. I thought I recognized him, and for some reason I thought the main character seemed very familiar to me, but I don't know who he is. But he did kind of seem familiar. Anyway, all the acting is tremendous. Fantastic performances throughout, wall to wall. The bad guy is chilling. Buddhist bad guys, they have no attachment to life. And, if you kill an insect, you might as well kill a human. And he kills a lot of humans. And he is pure evil. I mean, he is evil. He does things to people that will make you feel very uncomfortable. But if you're going to watch a Takeshi Miike film, you will be uncomfortable. In fact, if you see a Takeshi Miike film and you're not uncomfortable, something is wrong with you. So that uncomfort level is here. Again, it's not as grotesque and surprisingly violent as his other work, but it is incredibly violent. But it just seems to be more realistic and impactful. There were times, I try and never hide my eyes when I go to a movie because, I want to see everything. But, I did this, just because I didn't want to stop looking, but I didn't really want to see what was about to happen. And it involves a woman crying blood. That's about all I want to say about that. But there are some disturbing images and events in this film. I'm almost out of time. I love this movie. I love this movie. It's instantly transportive. Instantly timeless. I think it's a classic. It's Takeshi Miike's best film. I know, again, I think the film I know is a 9, but the philosophy that's presented, the ideas presented speak to me. I get it. Speaking about the code of the warrior, and valuing life, again, it spoke to me, it preached to me. So even though perhaps technically is a 9, in my heart I know it's a 10. Because, I want to buy this movie. I wish I owned it right now so that I could see it. So you need to see it. You gotta see it. On the biggest screen possible, if at all. I really don't know what else to say about it, other than I loved it. I love this movie. Best movie I've seen this year so far. It's a 10. Let's see, here it is again. 13 Assassins. Look for it. Find it. Apparently it's on video on demand. I don't really know much about that, if anything, but, if you have video on demand, get it. But see it on the big screen. Find it in the theater. You will not be disappointed. So that's 13 Assassins, and it's a 10, and it's awesome. Thanks.